The two major platforms for mainland China market are WeChat and Weibo. Talking about Weibo first, it is a microblogging platform which is a hybrid of Twitter and Facebook. It has 360 million monthly active users right now, which is huge. Weibo is really heavy on content. It's really heavy on visuals. It's all about the news. It's all about the moment now. It's all about hot topics. So it's fantastic for the brands that want brand awareness, that want the brand message to reach as many people as possible. It's great for viral campaigns and growing your database, activating the database of initial China followers. At the same time, there's a lot of talk about WeChat, and WeChat is indeed the most active social media platform in China now. There are 690 million monthly active users. It is fantastic though for your existing customers, having your repeat purchases, communicating with them, building much closer connection. It's not so much a marketing platform as such. It is more of a CRM and e-commerce function and functionality, plus marketing, advertising, and everything else. So a lot of people call WeChat operating system for life in China, and that's what it really is. So WeChat and Weibo you definitely need to have. At the same time, you need to remember that China has over 60 platforms. So WeChat and Weibo are not alone. So when we are communicating on Weibo, we definitely need to remember that you need to be content heavy. So Weibo has a lot of tweets and posts going on. If you are in retail business, you might need to post more than once a day. If you don't, none of your followers will actually see the post. The next thing you need to remember is that quality of the content and the context are extremely important. There are hot topics and news on social media around the globe, but the speed with which China is changing those hot topics and trends is just spectacular. So every day on Weibo you will see hot topic section, and they change hourly. You as a brand need to be on top of those hot trends, and you need to link your content with that hot trend to stay relevant. So to be successful, you need to understand how this platform actually fits into the life of modern Chinese consumer. Talking about WeChat, again, it's a very different social media that primarily succeeds through word of mouth. It succeeds through real, genuine connection with the fan, with the follower. So to be successful in that platform, you need to, number one, make sure that your account solves the problem. So for example, they can book your event, or they can, I do not know, complete a purchase, or they can register for some goodies through this WeChat account. So it needs to be functional, not just blah blah, not just the news, not just marketing and pretty pictures. At the same time, it needs to be very personalized. Besides that, your WeChat account needs to be entertaining, fun, and link whatever content you have to your brand. So on WeChat, you have these long articles that you can publish either daily or once a week. It depends on your account type. And each article that you have need to start with, again, hot topics, with all these discussions about what's going on and how your brand is participating in it. But primarily it is educational, entertaining, and stuff. And then right at the bottom of the article, you start plugging out your new collection, your product, and basically solving the problem of the customer. So that's very important. You also want to make sure that you're using all the WeChat infrastructure. So you might want to consider a WeChat store, or launch a WeChat media program, or think about any other functionality. In terms of campaigns, it's a bit less dense and it's a bit less welcoming, the way you operate campaigns on WeChat, but still, for your existing database, it's fun, it's important, and it's definitely doable. To stay relevant long-term, retail brands really need to understand that the content is still the king and context is the most important. So most of the people unsubscribe from WeChat and Weibo accounts because the content is repetitive or there's not enough content. If your information is amazing and relevant, nobody is going to unsubscribe, even with increasing competition. So that shall be your number one focus, great content. At the same time, you need to be very careful not spend 90% of your budget in creating content and not giving it enough exposure. So you will have in China to use bloggers, you will have to use campaigns, you will have to use advertising to reach audience, because organic reach is extremely limited because of the number of competing brands and and ever so expanding fan base. At the same time, you definitely need to make sure you have a lot of interactive campaigns. A lot of fans in China actually use social media specifically to participate in campaigns. Like on Weibo, you can wake up and go to the special tab which says campaigns today, and you can be in touch with this brand right away and see how you can benefit from it. So campaigns need to be in your marketing mix long term. And of course, you want to make sure that you're using the right bloggers. Bloggers change, they bloom, they become popular, they die, they become unpopular. You need to be constantly looking for social bloggers and influencers for the upcoming uprising, and you basically need to be changing with them. They will bring you a huge understanding of your target audience and the China market, and they will definitely be an important indicator of how you can develop as a brand and stay relevant long term. Chinese millennials is a great topic. Currently, they are 31% of China population, and this is 415 million people and consumers. They are extremely educated, they are extremely tech savvy. In fact, in my personal view, they are the most sophisticated consumers in the world, not just in China or in Asia, in the world. These people started spending money on themselves, and every year they spend more and more. They are very comfortable with buying online. They are very comfortable with buying for themselves and for others as well. They love new things. They love new destinations. And they are a fantastic group of consumers to work with, because very, very soon they also will have the jobs, the money, and they will bring up children with very similar values. So there are three major indicators that differentiate them from other millennials from around the world. Number one, they are very concerned with individuality. So if the brand wants to capture them, you need to make sure that you are selling something personal, tailor-made, that you allow them a lot of options for personalization. Secondly, Chinese millennials are very heavy online shoppers. They often satisfy through online and social media. That is why a lot of brands, especially in retail now, make sure that they are not only present on online channels like Taobao, JD, Xiaohongshu, but they also open shops on social media. And in fact, in the coming 5 to 10 years, we are definitely going to see the uni-channel commerce, not just omni-channel, so that Chinese consumers will have this kind of seamless experience on social, online, offline, and potentially later in the virtual reality world to shop and to enjoy themselves. And the last specialty is word of mouth. It is, of course, very common around the world, but in China, word of mouth goes beyond just recommending to your friends or family. People actually listen to what influencers have to say, and they honestly believe their recommendations. In China, people believe that the blogger, yes, is being paid to say something. However, because they put forward and put their reputation on the line, they are willing to take that bet and actually go and purchase. So this trust in word of mouth from authority figures, bloggers, experts is extremely high. So do use bloggers in your marketing mix, and you're going to be sorted for the China market. the newest and the most exciting content type is actually live streaming and videos. So we have seen a huge number of live streaming and short video platforms mushrooming all around China. So in the future, we are definitely going to see a lot more visual content, a lot more video content. Live streams are going to be an everyday thing. And there are a lot of functions that encourage that. For example, watch and buy, press and buy, tip and say, etc., etc. So that's extremely interesting. And what we're going to see in a couple of years from now also is the voice optimization. So when you're recording your video or doing live stream, there would be programs that distinguish what exactly are you saying, and they will be able to rank your content based on what you say, not based on your meta description in words below, which is going to be a huge revolution. Whoever is creating this amazing content now in forms of video will have a great head start once the technology is developed and implemented. So keep creating and make sure that videos are a part of whatever you're doing on China Social.